Prepare to witness the ultimate gaming dissection as we break down, unpack, and even throw a little friendly smack talk at all facets of MilkMan Pictures' gaming realm. Stay tuned for some quick roasting, intentionally bad game suggestions, and a dash of merciless fun, all aimed at MilkMan Pictures. But fear not, we're also armed with top-tier game suggestions that will surely lift Milkman from the depths of gaming despair. And of course, we'll raise our gaming spirits with the wisdom of Lord Beerstro, ensuring this episode is packed with insights, laughs, and a whole lot of gaming camaraderie. Get ready, couch co-opters. The episode begins now. Couch co-op. Couch co-op. Couch co-op. Well, welcome, couch dependents, couch co-opers, and couch potatoes to the couch co-op.
Codependence.
Couch codependents, independents.
We are
to
recording
the-
this on a very special day, aren't we?
It's
Yes.
Milkman's birthday,
Yeah.
actual birthday.
Another day round, another year round the sun for him. He's getting
And
old.
How old is he turning?
Oh,
Let's dox his age on the podcast.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure because he's only got like about 3 grey hairs on the side of his head. I don't know if you've ever noticed.
It's like 45-ish.
Yeah,
Is that,
he's 45. He's a little younger than me. So we're all getting up there. But yeah, like I say, he's only got like 3 or 4 grey hairs. He's doing pretty well. I think it's the lack of children. Either that or
Lack of children.
or all the porn.
And the summer's off.
Well, he has to work with children.
You know.
So
Fuck
there's some
them
give and
kids.
take.
Yeah. So
But for tonight's episode, to celebrate Milkman's birthday, as suggested by our own Lord Beerstro, we're gonna talk about some game recommendations for Ian, as well as some unintentionally bad game suggestions for him.
And he has to play them or else.
ooh,
Yeah, we didn't really come up with a punishment per se.
Yeah, I know.
I just thought that was kind of implied, but
We should make him play
But-
He has to drink dark beers.
Hatsumi you what do we call it? That game that is horrible. It makes your eyes bleed. It's I think he'd hate it. Hatsumi Miku, that's the one. But yeah.
So we're just gonna. So we'll start with Nick. So Nick, what's the battle for tonight
well,
against sobriety?
the battle against sobriety. So I just figured I'd pick a couple of Milkman approved beers to go head to head. I'm going to start with what I think is going to be the challenger, and it's going to be Kokanee. And this is
This
nice
is like
because
the third time Kokanee's been on the podcast.
and this is fun for me because it helps me clear out the fridge. So we'll have Kokanee, and it'll go up against the favorite, the heavyweight
Oh
champ,
wow, okay.
the
Stella.
Stella Artois.
It's not really a fair fight, is it? It's kind of heavyweight versus lightweight.
No, I mean Ian seems to like I mean
He likes cock
we all
or coke.
yeah Kokanee.
I think well.
I don't know. He seems to like really like Coke, or yeah, I guess really like Kokanee.
He likes lagers
I-
in general, doesn't he? Just anything that's
Yeah.
not got a big hop, and he likes a bit of skunk to it quite
Yeah.
a lot of times.
But I don't know. I mean, I'm still hung up on the idea that Kokanee used to taste a lot better, like back when it still came from Creston, not from St. Louis. But
From the
guess that's
Canadian
neither here
wilds.
nor there. Uh-huh. Yeah, which I mean, I kind of wanted to take my next vacation up into BC just to see if I could actually find a Canadian variant that is actually better than
Wow, you
this.
really must like that stuff if you're considering going on vacation to Canada just to drink kokanee.
Not necessarily just kokanee, but I mean, the idea was more to, I guess, because I've had I had an ex girlfriend years ago that ventured up into Canada. Like I think she went to Vancouver,
Was she eaten
and
by
she
a
came back.
bear?
Huh?
Was she eaten by a bear or something? Is that why she's an ex-girlfriend?
No, she lived, unfortunately. Um, but she came back with like a mixed pack of Sleeman, um,
A mixed pack of
which
semen.
I'm losing
Let's
this one.
continue on. This could take a while.
No, it's they like I wish I knew more about this brewery, but Sleeman's ales. I mean they're not like Labatt's or Molson, but I mean they're kind of they're I guess they'd be kind of like a maybe a Sam Adams ish type
Mm.
brewery, but and I think they're owned by a parent company, but a lot of their beers were just kind of like ho hum. But the idea that I was kind of exposed to something that wasn't available down here would be kind of nice, especially when it comes to doing like these beer battles and stuff.
Yeah, just find some
And
new
plus, now that
stuff.
I think about it, there is another craft brewery that's based out of British Columbia that is also available in Washington, but not available down here. That I had one or two of their beers that were just like really good.
Sounds like a trip to Total Wines in order.
Maybe I don't know if it was available at Total Wine or not because I was up in Seattle where I found this. Seattle or Lake Stevens, I can't remember.
So, Nick, when you do a beer battle with two beers that you're already familiar with, is the process still the same?
Um, yes, because it um just because a lot of times the picks that I pick aren't necessarily ones that I've had recently, so it's when I pick them, I might be going off of memory, but condition is kind of everything. So it's um, what I remember and what's in front of me could be two different stories. And I mean, kokanee is kind of a good example of that. Just like I've had it in the past, and it, it I don't know. I remember it tasting a lot better back in the day when it was kind of more of a InBev brand more than an InBev AB, whatever else they own now.
And is the yay balloons behind you, is that to celebrate Milkman's birthday?
Yes,
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
because those were actually balloons that were bought for my birthday. A little
So you're
over
recycling
a month.
birthday supplies for
Yes,
Milkman.
we're reusing because Brandy didn't want to get rid of them, so she just
Oh,
wanted to put them up somewhere, and so her idea was to throw them up there. So
All right.
yeah.
Well, while you're enjoying that Coke, Dave, what's a game
Well,
intentionally or
well,
unintentionally?
before we wanted to jump into that, I didn't know if you guys just wanted to just kind of like
should we talk about what
y-
kind of games you like and what his
yes,
ideal game was? Because
yeah. I mean
I,
that was kind of like the because we've always got like two different parts of the show. It's like we've got kind of like a preamble ish sort of deal where we just kind of lightly cover something, and then we've got the main topic, and at least with the kind of like the pre-show or like the intro stuff, we could sit here and just kind of like talk and make fun. Like, I mean, I kind of had an idea of something to kind of talk about with Ian in that respect.
Yeah, so I think like Ian has played every driving game ever made. It seems like because
Right.
whenever he talks about it, I know he likes his Need for Speed, but then he also plays like Wreckfest, and obviously Gran Turismo has always been one of his
Hmm.
favorites. But I've played all sorts of racing games with him in the past, and he's always that's got to be one of his favorites. And then obviously there's Metal Gear Solid, which is that series. He
Hmm.
likes that a lot. Although I think it's gone off the boil a little with the, he enjoyed Metal Gear Survive, but it wasn't really a Metal Gear game in a lot of ways. It was, trying to do something a bit different. And then Skyrim. I mean, he's been going on about Skyrim for absolute years. And
Well, it came out in what, like 2011?
has he ever let you into his little PC Skyrim modded world or shown you it? It's worth
No, and he can keep it.
it's quite a thing. I mean, let's just let's just sum up his perfect video game character to begin with, which is a lady with a large chest in the black bikini usually
Very
with
ample.
with heels. Yes, that's pretty much his ideal video game character, isn't it? Whenever he play, you know, you can always tell the game's going to get a good score from me, and when the character creation allows you to, do that kind of thing.
So he prefers them top heavy and not bottom heavy.
Yes, he definitely goes like that, goes that way. I think he would have really liked near Automato if he would have liked it even more than he liked it a lot. If you could have had the black bikini outfit in that game, I don't think there was. She had to be fully clothed. But he likes his games. He likes that little pervy edge. But if you ever if
And
you
even more so if you can get mods for
yeah
it.
if you can mod it.
Is it an edge or is it just an abyss? A black
It depends
hole.
on whether you can mod it or
A
not.
darkness, if
If
you
it's just a
will.
straight game, then it's an edge. But if it's something you can mod, yeah, man, it's an abyss. Because I know he's been playing Skyrim for a long time. And he has like a little he has like spells that put the ladies and they follow him around and all the rest of it. And then he liked to, what do we call it, the Conan game because of the Wheels of Pain, and he would break his ladies on the Wheels of Pain. And it's just like it's just funny. He makes these little worlds. He downloads the mods, and man, I think he's only showed it me once, and I think I made fun of it, so he never showed me
I mean,
again.
that's
I
and
don't blame
if
him. It's like
yeah, it's kind of personal to him, and
yep, it's his little dream world.
and I guess that's probably why he's been spending a little bit of time with Fallout 4, kind of modding that to his own desires. But
Well, didn't
it's
he played it vanilla for a little bit, didn't he? Or did he just go straight into
I thought he
modding
beat it
Fallout
again
4?
this time. Like, so
yeah,
he did beat it, and then he was going to mod it. So
I'm not sure about that, but I just know there's probably ample opportunity to visit those Nexus mods and just kind of go to town and just do
yeah,
what he wanted to do, especially with that settlement building portion of the game. Like, I mean, I can only imagine like what
I
kind of
mean he's
settlements he's
very
got going
focused
on.
on it because like I know on Skyrim he had like not just those mods, but like playability mods and all the rest of it. And I want to say one time he told me it was like 70 different mods he had running on the game, and he would add one, and sometimes it would break it, and then he'd have to like revert back, get rid of a few mods. I mean, it's almost like a full time job just
Well, yeah,
getting the game to
and that's
work.
that's the thing. Sometimes some of those mods just don't play well with others, and
Yep.
it sucks when that happens because especially if you've got like some great mods on there, and you just download this other mod that you think is going to be cool, and it just turns out to be a piece of shit, and it just fucks everything up. And
Yeah.
then you have to like go back through and just uninstall it. It's a pain in the ass. I mean, just from some of the modding that I've done at New Vegas on my own. It,
So, have there been any games that Ian has recommended to you two that were solid picks? I think
He's
one
recommended
game.
a lot to me, but yeah.
Would you say the Ian is Milkman is good at recommending? Is it games more to your tastes when he recommends them?
Most of the time when he recommends a game to me, I think he has a good feel for the games I kind of like and enjoy, and because like he recommended, the Saboteur was one, Wreckfest, which is a driving game where you like, but it's more kind of Destruction Derby-ish. I really enjoyed that one. Like Death Stranding, he recommended that, and Control, and I really enjoyed those. So he doesn't recommend a lot of games to me, but when he does, they're usually worth playing. So his recommendations are usually worth a look. Like I think he recommended Ghost of Tsushima as well, and that was a good game. That was a great game. So
What about you, Nick?
it's hard to say because I think there's one or two recommendations that he's actually made for me, and I've got them on my PS5. I just haven't really like delved into them so much yet. Just for whatever reason, I just unfortunately I haven't put the time in. Just had other uh, like I'm still working on God of War, but I mean,
you'll be working on
but
that for the next couple of years.
yeah. Well, hey, listen. I mean, I yeah. Anyway, we won't talk about me this because it's not my show. But there was a game that I actually started to play just for a little bit. I don't know if it was an actual recommendation for me per se, more than it was just a recommendation in general. But I can't remember the name of the game. But I was actually having a little bit of fun with it. But it's
What
on the
is
PS5. But
what is one? Is there a game in mind that Ian loves that you don't understand the love? Is there a game that you would disagree with Ian fully on?
Oh, that's a good question.
like, well, what do you mean by that? Like
Like
a
you just don't
game that
understand. Like you're like
like
that
why
game
he
sucks.
likes it or
Like you think, in your opinion, you think that game sucks, and you don't understand why he likes it.
hmm.
No, because
I
like
mean,
Skyrim's not for
the,
me, and I don't play it. It's not. I've never played it, so I can't really comment on it. But
yeah, I mean, I've tried playing Skyrim too, but it hasn't like I've tried a few of the Elder Scrolls games and they just haven't grabbed me. But I can see why Ian likes it, especially with all the mods. But I don't know, and that was kind of my question about that question is this a game that we don't like, or is it a game that Ian likes that we don't understand why he likes, or
Yeah, that I mean
um,
that's probably a better way. You're it's a bewilderment of why he would
right?
like this game.
Hmm.
no, because even like Monster Hunter World, I tried that and I played a bit, and I just didn't enjoy it. And Ian loved it, but I could kind of see why. That it's just not my kind of game. So
Hmm.
most of the time, it's for me at least, it's that kind of thing. It's just there's just some games that I'm not that interested in that he likes, you know. So, but how
Yeah,
about you?
I don't know.
Anything come to mind on you for you, John?
I think I'm not a big racing game guy. Like the most game I've ever played was Podcat or Pod Racer for the N64. That's like the most I've ever sunk time into a racing game, and that's just like an arcade game essentially.
Yeah,
Um,
I think I'm with you. I'm like racing games just don't do anything for me anymore. I used to enjoy them a little bit when I was younger, but now I just
But
kind of find them as just retreads, if you know what I mean.
And another, is that a pun? Retread. And then one other aspect, this is just a gaming feature. He's really into taking photos. I know him and Jared are into taking photos, but that I've just never really done much photo taking in games. I'm playing The Witcher 3 now, and that's a very visual game. Um, but it does photo taking really doesn't do anything for me. I just like to I'll stare at a game, sure, if I come across a nice setting, I'll just stare at the screen for a sec, but I don't really take a photo and save it.
Yeah, I find, I must admit, I find like the games are graphically impressive. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't feel the need to take photos.
Yeah, I've only done it on accident.
Yeah, so I looked at my,
Yes,
I was clearing
exactly.
out room on my PlayStation 5 the other day, and I went into the photos and videos, and there were like 5 or 6 things. I think one of my nephews had been playing Astro Bots or something, accidentally pressed it.
Yeah, it's funny you bring up the accidental, Nick, because even so with the PS5, when you get a trophy, at least for the default settings, it records the video of you getting that trophy. And every time I see it now, I just think like that's
Mm.
just eating up my memory.
Oh, I
Like,
didn't even know it did that. So now I have to go through and delete all 5 videos.
Yeah, all 20 megabytes of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so now that we've you finished the Kokanee and you're starting on the Stella, how was the Kokanee?
I mean, it's fine. I mean, it tastes more mass produced than it did
Even last time you had it?
before. No, I mean, it's Canadian Budweiser, I guess, at this point, even though Ian will fight tooth and nail that Budweiser is completely different. But it's it's fine for what it is. I mean, I don't hate it, but I used to like it a lot more. Um, Going back in the day, I remember there was this little place in Westland called the Corner Saloon that um, used to have it Thursday night as part of Dollar Beer Night. It was either Bud Light, Coors Light, maybe Miller Light, but they also had Kokanee for $1. That's always what I got. But that's a far cry from, I guess, it's now being bottled.
And then I think you've talked about this before, but do you like skunk in your beer, Nick?
I absolutely do. Um,
Oh, okay.
so so I that's one thing that I love about green bottle beer is just that skunk smell and taste and well, I think Corona has it too, but they're clear,
Hmm. I never
um,
thought of that.
but no, I mean it's something I really like, and going back to that corner saloon, that was also the first time I actually had Stella because back in 2004, um, I don't know if they were just introducing it to Oregon or if it had just been around and
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they were. I
sales
think they
weren't
were introducing it in the early 2000s. It was.
okay.
It had next to no
So
market share.
I just remember something like a promotion team coming in with like samples and stuff and just
That's so
pouring it. It's
nuts.
like, and it's like, yeah, it's supposed to taste like Heineken, da 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 da. And I drank it and it was like, oh, this is pretty good. And then about 2 years later, I ended up working for the distributor for Stella, and then it was just kind of, and that's when I actually started buying it some more, like picking up 6 packs and 12 packs here and there just to support my employer. But no, I was quite. I mean, I wouldn't say I was super impressed, but I mean, I really liked it back then, and even all these years later, still pick up a case from Costco half the time I'm picking up that case, I'm just hoping that it brings Ian out to my house. But
All
Yeah.
right. Well, we'll come back to Lord Beerstro in a few. So now,
but just to actually never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
for the main event, we're gonna do some game suggestions for Milkman. So there's not necessarily an amount you need. Nick brought up earlier that this was a half serious, half joking topic for tonight's podcast. So I have one game in mind to suggest to Ian, and then Dave has like 17 games in mind
I don't know about
to suggest.
17. I have a couple. I have at least one that I actually own that he should play. I don't think he's played it all the way through, but it 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 seems like it would be on his wavelength.
All right, we'll go ahead and start us off, Dave.
Well, actually, this is one that I don't know whether you should play it or not, but in my like search, basically for sexy PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 games, I just like the name of this one, and it was Leisure Shoot Larry, Wet Dreams Don't Dry. Isn't that the like scummiest title?
Yeah, I mean that's the whole vibe of that game series. They're supposed to be
Oh, I know.
sleazy.
I can't say I've ever actually like played one. And then the other problem I had was I was looking through this list, and so there's Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball, I think it is, or Extreme. I can't remember what it's called, but I know he has that one because he loaned it to me, and that one's really pretty funny. And then there's Peach Beach Splash, where you've got water guns and you squirt
Isn't
each
that the
other.
one like Ian even feels bad about? He's like,
And
this is really, I'm really exploiting women in this game.
Yeah, that one. It's a really good shooter game though as well. It's kind of actually a pretty decent game underneath, but I know he's got those and he likes them. But the one that I was thinking of that he may enjoy, I have one called Akiba's Trip, and you're running around Akiba in Japan, and people have been possessed by demons, and so you fight people. But the way you win the fight is you rip the clothes off. So you get them down to the underwear, and then you rip the clothes off, and like they either end up naked or it reveals that they're a demon. And that just seems like, and it's a fun game. I beat it, but it just seems like that would be right up Ian's alley. It's although having said, you have to beat it before you can dress your character how you want. So he'd have to wait for the high heels and black bikini. I think it's not straight from the start. But what games were you thinking?
Well, I was thinking this is a game I spoke a long time ago, and Ian said no because you play a man. Is Kingdom Come Deliverance, where you're in 16th century Czechoslovakia, and you play a blacksmith's son named Henry, and pretty much the game is based around Henry gaining vengeance for his family, but but it's kind of like a simulator, like a medieval simulator. But it's not very sexy at all. I mean, these women are wearing full gowns. The only time it gets kind of sexy is when you go to the bathhouse you can select to have sex with the prostitute at the bathhouses, but that's as sexy as the game gets. And then Henry himself can have affairs with different women in the game. So there's some tits. When I think about it now, there are some tits. So it gets a little sexy here and there. But when I recommended it to Ian the first time, it's like, do you have to play a man? It's like, yeah, you only play as Henry and you don't create a character. Not interested.
Yeah, yeah. I think he does need the female character, doesn't he? That definitely pulls him in.
What about you, Nick?
He's probably gonna have to get an emulator for this, but Bible adventures.
From like the
Oh.
Nintendo or
Well,
Atari?
yeah, it was an unlicensed Nintendo game, and it was like particularly horrid. Just like
I
its
feel like if he was
gameplay.
here, he would like we would see him wheel back and like he would be like, "You mean this one?"
Yeah, either that or he'd catch fire.
Maybe. I mean, he may have already played it. I don't know, but I remember playing it back in the day. Just kind of like, what the fuck is this game? And just I don't know. It was. I mean, it's unintentionally funny, the game itself, but I don't know. I just be it. It's a bad game, but I'd also like to see um, a little bit of gameplay just to like see kind of the stuff that he does with it.
Make
Like
an
if he tries
interesting
some nonsense.
stream.
Yeah.
So I had another one. This just sounded right up his alley. It's 18 rated. It's called Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter. And so you have a bunch of schoolgirls in the zombie apocalypse. But you can distract said zombies by throwing your clothes at them. And there's a lot of like Mass Effect-esque sexy like, encounters and stuff. So I think that would be something that he might enjoy. So surprisingly enough, a lot of these games don't get that great a Metacritic score. But I think the problem we're always going to have with Ian is he just likes his mods, and tearing him away from that Skyrim. That's like his main fix, isn't it?
Well, he's kind of cooling on Skyrim now, isn't he?
Probably.
Oh, it's always a
yeah.
game that it's kind of like he always comes back to it.
Yeah.
Like he'll venture away for a little bit, and then he always comes back to it just to like fuck around. And I don't know. I mean, it's just yeah, maybe he has moments with it, I suppose.
Yeah. Could make him play Dead Space again for some space torture porn,
The remake?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That would be. I don't think it's quite the kind of game he's looking for, but
He's not into. I don't think Ian's into horror games, if I remember correctly. I
no,
don't think
he wouldn't play Half-Life because those little head crab spider things.
Really?
The skittering like really does number on him. It's freaking hilarious to
Oh,
watch.
interesting.
He doesn't like skittering things and spiders. I don't know if he's like that in real life, but that like stuff in games just sets him off. It's great.
Hmm.
Well, one other game, I think he's probably already played this, but would probably be Conker's Bad Fur Day, where you play a drunk squirrel.
Drunk squirrel. Yeah, I've always heard good things about that game. It's one that I probably should play one of these days, especially now as N64 emulators are.
If you can actually, if you have an Xbox, you can get the Rare Replay. It may be on the PlayStation too, but I think it's on the Xbox only because I think Microsoft owns Rare.
Yeah, they do.
You can do the Rare Replay, and it's on there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a game I've always thought was looked pretty interesting, but just missed it, So I don't know. The other problem we have with Ian though is he does play an awful lot of games. Like he's all about those
Yes.
PlayStation stars, isn't he? So he's always downloading like this and that and the other. But I think
And then playing him on easy so he can burn right through him.
yeah. I don't blame him. I to be quite honest, a lot of games I play now, I just leave them. I usually put them on. I usually just leave them on whatever difficulty setting is like suggested, and then sometimes go down to easy if they're a little difficult. But
I like to take my time with games, apparently.
oh man,
Do you have another suggestion, Nick?
Well, based on some information Dave gave me, I'm now trying to look for spider-based video games.
Actually, no. I think we should just go
But
real simple. I think he just needs to play Half Life, like
oh, okay,
all the way
Half-Life or
through. I
Half-Life
mean,
Two.
He
why
has the
not?
orange box. He can play Half-Life 2.
Yeah, he just needs to play that. That would be. I think that would work. I'm trying to remember what game it was
And you can do mods with it. Well, if he got it on the PC, there's a lot of mods
you
for
could mod the
Half-Life.
shit. Oh man, if you had VR, you could make him play Half Life Alex. That'd be even better in VR. Little head crabs.
Do they have it on PlayStation 5? Because he could probably use Jared's.
I don't know. That would be funny though to see him like just have him play a game that's like just.
He would take the helmet off. He'd be like, "Fuck this!" If once a head crab came on.
Yeah, I think he would. It'd be hilarious though. We'd have to videotape it. It'd be like one of those videos where people do the plank in VR or freak out.
Well, how would he feel with a game like Alien Isolation?
I don't
I
know
think
if
he
he's
played it, didn't he?
I played that one.
Yeah.
That one like that one really hit the nerve for me. So I don't know. He should try it. I know I gave my copy to Jared because I just wasn't going to play it anymore. It was like
Because I know he played Prey, and he loved Prey. I know it's two different games, but
yeah,
going off on this invasive alien game, I know he really liked Prey, if I remember correctly.
yeah. Yeah, that's the real trouble. Is he has played an awful lot of games. Like
Do you feel like as he's gotten older, I feel like he's more open to playing games now than he was when he was younger.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I feel like he plays a lot more variety of games. Not that he wasn't open to playing other games. I think part of it is just that now you have those streaming services where you can get access to games relatively affordably, and it's not the big deal it once was where you go buy a disc copy of a game for 40-50 bucks, and if you didn't like it, it was like, oh well, there's $40 gone.
Yeah, you're stuck with it.
Yeah, whereas now you can pay like what, $10-15 a month, and you get all these games you can choose from. So, and I know he's big into the digital and all the rest of it as well. He does, but that's partly because video editing. He has a decent internet connection, unlike most of the rest of us. So I don't know.
All right. Do we have any more? That's kind of it for my gaming suggestions. Do you guys have any more?
Well, do you know if he ever played Unreal 2: The Awakening? I mean, this is going back to like the early 2000s.
Oh wow. I don't think he hasn't. In my opinion, he has never talked about any Unreal games.
I think he went through he went through a phase around that time. I don't know if that's the correct time, but there was a phase where he didn't play video games for quite a long while. And I want to say it was in the early 2000s. So he probably missed out a lot there.
I mean, I remember playing this game and I believe I beat it, but can't remember if it had little creepy crawly things in here, but I was just trying to look up like screen grabs, and of course I've already seen modified or pictures of characters modified to where they're naked. So at least on some level,
the first box.
I'll just throw Unreal 2: The Awakening out there, and if there aren't creepy crawly things that aren't scaring him away, at least he can modify all the. I mean, he may or may not do the nude thing, but at least he can modify the female characters to his liking. So I'll just throw that out there just for that reason alone.
Yeah.
I mean, I played it a couple times. I thought it was a lot of fun. But I don't know if you guys ever played it at all.
No, I wasn't. I haven't played much of the Unreal stuff.
Yeah, I think
I mean,
I didn't play. I think I just played. I played a lot of Homeworld around that time, and that was about it. And Theme Hospital, for some reason, remember beating that around 2003.
All right.
I mean, I don't
So
have a lot of memory, but I just remember it being. I had a lot of fun with the game, but that was almost 20 years ago.
is
Gosh,
that
yeah.
your chaser, Nick Foster's
It is. It's my little.
palate
What what
cleanser?
did what did Ian call it? Golden throat charmer,
Yeah,
something to that effect.
I think
Yeah,
it is the Golden Throat Charmer, isn't it? That
yeah,
was one of the advertising slogans they had. So,
No
yeah.
way.
Or
Really?
yeah.
oh wow,
The 80s and the 90s were a slightly different time.
yeah.
So,
So going back to Lord Beerstro, how's that, Stella?
yeah. How's Auntie
Well,
Stella?
Damn. Okay.
Stella, she's taking the win.
Not really a surprise. Unexpected
No,
result.
it's not. But I
Plus,
mean,
it's Ian's birthday. It's one of his favourite
yeah.
beers.
I mean, but I mean, he was pretty high on kokanee too, so I just thought it'd be kind of a fun little nod to him to have those two go up against each other, even though we already, well, I mean, in Ian's mind, we'd already know who wins, but yeah. I don't know. I just thought it'd be a nice nod to him. So
All right.
Stella wins, Ian. Yeah.
Oh,
So, gents, let's move on to couch co-optionals.
Okay.
So, David,
man,
what's your
what
couch
what have
co-optional?
I actually played video games this week? So I it's like no, I got some more Alan Parsons albums when I was out. So I've been listening to The Turn of a Friendly Card. Great Alan
Damn,
Parsons
that's
album.
a cool album cover.
Yeah, yeah, that one's pretty good. And then I was listening to and the Chariots of Fire soundtrack.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's I've been listening to a lot of kind of classic synthesizer music recently. So I
When you were listening to Chariots of Fire, like, were you doing something and were you doing it in slow motion by chance?
no, unfortunately, I wasn't. And then that's pretty much all I've done this week. It's been a busy week at work, so I've been working, and then I did watch the Barbie movie.
Oh, I saw that too.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was quite surprised.
Who'd you see it with?
Pleasantly with my wife and my kid, so
Nice.
they enjoyed it. No, I think my one of my favorite bits is when, like, at the start where she's just like waking up and she pours herself a coffee and, like, it's not like there's nothing in the jug and all the rest of it. So
I talked about it last week that I thought it was interesting to see a female director's take on male culture. What were your thoughts on that? Or did you have any thoughts on that?
I had some thoughts on it, but I was actually quite more than that in some respects. I was quite surprised that Mattel, like, I love the cubes that the people were working in. It's like,
Yeah.
it made Mattel look like the
Soulless.
yeah, soulless corporation, which is, but I'm surprised. I'm surprised they let her be that
How
brutal
lax they
with
were.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was pretty good. I must admit, I was like watching it though, and I'm like, I don't think I'd want to live in either of those worlds, if you know what I mean.
You wouldn't want to charge at a wave just to bounce back from it?
Yep. Yeah, so, but it was a pretty decent movie. So
Nice. Nick.
actually, there's one for Ian. We should get Ian to watch Barbie
Oh, he would like it. He'd be down for it.
in the theaters.
Oh, he doesn't do theaters though, right?
Not anymore. He used to, but I don't. I don't blame him. I mean, it was $19 a ticket or something stupid when we went there.
No way.
Yeah,
Damn.
I was looking at
Fuck.
going to see Oppenheimer today, and it was $19. I want to say it was
Come on.
$22 a ticket, and although
No.
Regal had a deal, unlimited movies, and it was $22 a month to go and watch as many movies as you want. So, I mean, I can see why they do that. I mean, price wise, it was ridiculous. Cinema's always been expensive. You know, first run movies have always been expensive, but it's been a while since
when
I've gone.
I went and saw it at a local theater. They have theaters in California as well, but it's called Maya, where the guy builds theaters in underdeserved Latino areas. And our movie, when I for the four of us, the myself, my fiance, and her mom and sister, it was $11 per ticket.
Yeah, there's one here. There's like Tiger. You know, this was the Regal, and they had the reclining chairs and all the rest of it.
Okay.
You know, so it was a decent experience. It wasn't, but I know there's a local one here that's like a single screen theater where you can go and it's like $8 to $10 a ticket. You know, it's not. It's relatively affordable.
Man. But I saw today that Barbie already cracked $1 billion, and it's been like 14 or 17 days since it's been released.
Yeah, I mean, even Oppenheimer's doing well. It's kind of, I think those two movies appeal to slightly different audiences in some respects.
Yes.
And but by the same token, they're bringing a lot of people who have they're probably the first movies that a lot of people have gone to see since the COVID outbreak. So
Yeah, I think the last movie that did really well was Spider-Man 3,
yep, you know
and that was
that
pretty
just
much it.
but that appeals to like
A huge audience. I mean, wide appeal.
it's got reasonably wide appeal, but it's not. Whereas I think like Barbie and Oppenheimer are an even wider appeal between the two of them. So
All right. Nick, do you have a couch co-optional?
I do actually.
Nice.
So I've spent some time on Peacock. And by the way, are either one of you Twisted Metal fans? Because I have not played the game at all.
I played it a little bit, but long ago.
So I need some help because I don't know how I should feel about this series. I mean, I like it enough because I watched the first 4 episodes, but
Okay.
it's so I guess I'm promoting it to watch it and tell me how to think about it because I can't do it on my own. Um, I don't know if they're trying a little too hard to be kind of cheeky and fun. Um, but I mean, because like I said, I've never played the game, so I don't know if there's a lot of lore for them to pull from to tell stories, or if it's just more based on because like I mean I know there's one character I already forgot
The
his
clown.
name. Yeah, the clown that's played by Samoa Joe and voiced by um what the hell's his name? Um he's in everything. Arrested Development. I know, I've done a lot of research for this. It shows.
Will Poulter.
Will huh?
Will
Will
Poulter.
no. Will Arnett.
The other Will.
Yeah, he's the guy doing the voice for that character. But I mean,
Oh, funny.
he only shows up in 1 or 2 episodes so far. But I'm assuming he's going to show up later. But I guess my I guess it's my big question about this series is if it's actually pulling lore from the actual game or if it's just more creating a story just kind of based on the game itself.
My understanding is Twisted Metal doesn't have that much lore. I think it
Okay.
was just a creative, destructive derby game.
And that's kind of what I'm thinking. But I was curious because I've never played the game. So
But a few months ago, like, because we were discussing when the trailer first dropped, and Ian and Jared were just trashing it, saying like this looks embarrassing. So now that you've seen, so you halfway through the season, how many episodes are in the season? Do you
I
know?
think it's 10 episodes. I'm not
Okay.
positive on that, but
Right.
um,
But are you pleasantly surprised by? Did you see the trailer that we were making fun
no,
of?
I never saw the trailer. Um, what I saw was just because our nightly routine is to put The Office on, and I, because I'm poor and I can't afford certain paint sprayers, um, I pay for Peacock with ads, and some of the ads that pop up are ads for other Peacock
I thought
shows
you were going
and
to say
Twisted
paint
Metal.
sprays.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I said. Uh, so, uh, so one of the ads that came up was Twisted Metal, and it's got Anthony Mackie in it, and it's like, all right, well, I liked him as Falcon. I'll give him a shot. And it's kind of fun seeing like some of the cast that's in there, like Thomas Hayden Church.
Okay.
Seeing him show up. I mean, if you need it, if you don't know who he is, he's the Sandman in the Spider-Man movies. Also, kind of a little bit of an, I don't know if it's underground, but like a little indie art film called Sideways. He's in that movie and he does a terrific job there too. And then you also have Nev Campbell, which I could give or take,
Man,
but
she's still kicking around. I
Yeah.
haven't heard that name in a long ass
eh,
time.
I haven't either. But
Yeah, since
she
the
shows
very
up.
early 2000s, I think.
I mean, I can't say that I've been a huge Nev Campbell fan, but hey, whatever. She shows up. She's got work. That's nice. I'm gonna trash her for it, and she's got a nice little role in here, so that'll be interesting to see. Kind of like the culmination of it. Um, but yeah, I mean, storyline. It seems fairly basic, I suppose, but I don't know. It just seems like in some
Do you feel
scenes,
like
it's
you're
just
missing something? Like you're just is
I
that
don't
why
know. Well,
you're missing the
maybe.
context? Is that what you feel like you're confused
Well,
about?
I just, like I said, it's just like I want to know if any of this is lore or just they're creating a story based on the game. That's all I really wanted to know, and I guess independently, if it seems like they're just kind of trying too hard with kind of some of the humor that they've kind of thrown in,
So
because sometimes it feels a little forced, but
is that what you're trying to figure out? Because if they're
yeah.
creating all this lore, then you would give them a pass. But if this lore is already there, then you're like, okay, they're trying way too hard now.
Maybe the reverse. Like if it felt like they're trying too hard to get a laugh, but it's kind of referencing something, then maybe I would give it a pass. But if they're just doing something just to kind of like um, tell a joke within some sort of framework that's already been established with like other just any sort of series or movie or whatever that just I don't know that doesn't seem that original. I guess
Gotcha. All right.
I don't know.
Well,
But I mean, so the idea to plug it is not necessarily to say to go out and watch it. Just go out and watch it and tell me what to think because I have no idea.
hey, Peacock, good for
I've
you for supporting Peacock because they're. I
yeah.
saw an article the other day that they're losing hundreds of millions of dollars keeping their streaming platform running. So good for you for supporting them.
That's too
We're,
bad because I mean I know a lot of people complain about Peacock, but and there are some technical annoyances about it that I've kind of had to deal with on one of my TVs. But I mean, as far as content goes, I mean, even though I pay for the version that has commercials, so I can save it for a certain paint sprayer. Um, it's actually well worth the money. Um, I mean, definitely. I mean, I think I'm paying $5 a month for it.
That's not bad.
Uh,
Yeah.
Would you
no,
say the
it's
commercials
like
are as bad as they are on Hulu? Like they're 60 seconds max, and then you go back to the program?
I mean, yeah, it's about that. But I mean, it seems like the thing about the Peacock commercials is a lot of them are actually just promoting other Peacock shows. So, I mean, every once in a while
Yeah.
you might get an ad for like a product or something like that, but it just seems like more often than not, it's they're telling you about other shows that are on and that's how I wound up watching Twisted Metal was because I wanted these ads. So,
All
I
right.
mean, in a sense, it's almost like not bad to actually have these commercials because now it's like, oh great, I can actually check something else out. Maybe maybe you're kind of stuck in a rut in a little bit of watching The Office every night. But maybe you can actually kind of
Maybe
like
you like that rut.
yeah,
Rainn Wilson
or
has a show on Peacock. Speaking of The
yes, and
Office.
actually we started watching that too. Um, I'll save that for next week maybe because I've only seen like one or two episodes. Uh, the Iceland episode was actually pretty cool.
All right. Well,
Anyway,
speaking of expensive paint sprayers,
yeah.
that's my couch co-optional is this Graco Ultra paint sprayer. So this is a
So
partnership
was it
between
was it made by Richard Grieco from the 80s or
I don't know. Oh, what's that a reference to? I've heard that name.
you, you
did
you
does
do
Dave
know you're
not get
meant
that
to
or
spray the paint on the wall, not the actual tool.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, that's just me. I mean, like, it's not exactly. I do clean up after myself, and it's just my tools that get dirty, but everything else stays clean.
I don't know if Dave
Uh,
got that reference or not by the way.
no,
No.
Richard Grieco is from what's that movie? I know it's from a
I don't know. I
movie.
just know he's like from like a few 80s movies. He's in
Oh, I'm thinking of Richard like Gecko. Wasn't that was like a
Oh yeah, not the Wolf of Wall Street. Oh yeah,
Wall Street.
Wall
Oh,
Street.
well,
Was it Wall Street?
But anyways,
Yeah.
so as Nick has been hinting, this tool is expensive, but it is
mhm.
definitely worth it. I have a rig that I haven't used in years because it's just a pain to have to get the cords out, get the hose out, get it all set up and ready to go, and then the cleanup is annoying as well. This thing though cleans up relatively the same process as you would for a rig sprayer. Um, you can put all types of tips on it. It's a partnership between Graco and DeWalt. So the DeWalt, the version I got came with two batteries and a charger. Um, but yeah, it's super simple to use. I love how easy it is to use. You can put all types of tips on it. So yeah, I would highly, if you want to have a more professional finish to your paint jobs, um, even though it is expensive, I would highly recommend the Graco cordless sprayer.
Nice.
All
You're all
right.
about the tips, I see. Yeah.
Tips, 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 tips,
Tips,
just
tips,
the tips.
tips. Yep.
That's the tip.
All right, guys.
All
Let's
right.
get out of here.
Well, before we get out of
So,
here, one last thing. We love you, Ian. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday
Day
to
to
happy
you.
recovery day.
Happy birthday to you.
you.
Happy birthday, dear Milkman.
Happy
Happy
birthday, father.
birthday to
Bubble
you.
that shoe to you.
We probably should have started with that, but
I know.
We can do it next year.
Yeah. For 46.
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Allegedly 46.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining the Couch Co-op podcast. If you would like to leave a comment, subscribe. We are on Spotify, iTunes. We do have a Facebook. We are currently not using X, aka Twitter, as a platform. And you can also email us at the couchcooppodcast@gmail.com. And for the reviews, Spotify has a pretty easy review process. It's just like you give it 5 stars. So that's what I've done when listening to podcasts. They don't allow for comments. I know Ian is a huge fan of iTunes reviews, so you can do that as a birthday present for him.
You can get it on his iPhone.
I'm John.
I'm
Nick.
I'm Dave.
And this is the Couch Co-op. Thanks, guys.
Be excellent to each other.
Wild Stallion suckers.
And now he puts some music in.
Little.
Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op.
I suppose normally we wait for him to do the intro.
The
Not
intro, but
the
since
Who
this
wants
is
to
gonna
sing
be-
it a cappella?
Yeah. Boop, 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 boop. Couch Co-op. There you go.
right.
I'm sure we'll put a little bit of theme music in there.